The sun on Velar 7 was brutal, burned the red sand and turned the wind into fire. No one walked outside during the day. Only fools or the dying did that. Jack Monroe was neither. He stayed inside his small trading post, surrounded by broken tech and crates of old parts. He was a human, one of the last living on this side of the galaxy. People didn't trust humans much anymore. But Jack didn't care. He was alone, and he liked it that way. That day the sensors beeped. Jack looked up from the table. Something was moving outside. Slow, weak. He grabbed his scanner. The screen showed a life form, close to death, walking toward the outpost. It was not human. It was something tall, limping, with long arms and silver skin, bleeding dark blue. Jack stepped outside. The heat hit him like a hammer, but he pushed forward. He saw the figure collapse in the dust, just 20 steps from the door. "Damn it," Jack whispered. He knew he shouldn't help. Aliens brought trouble. Some species hated humans now. Helping one could mean war, but something in the way the creature fell, like it had given up everything just to reach him, changed Jack's mind. He ran. Jack lifted the body, heavy and cold. Its breathing was slow, almost gone. "Hey," Jack said. "Don't die yet." Inside, he placed the alien on a metal table. He gave it water. He stopped the bleeding. He didn't know the species, but he knew how to heal. He'd done it too many times in past wars. Hours passed. The alien opened one eye. It was bright gold, glowing slightly. "You help me," it whispered. Jack shrugged. Didn't plan on it, but yeah. The alien tried to sit up. Pain hit it hard. Jack pushed it back gently. "Rest," he said. "You're safe here." The alien stared at him. "You are human. Last time I checked." Silence filled the room. Then the alien did something strange. It placed its hand on its chest, then bowed its head slightly. "I owe you," it said. Jack raised an eyebrow. "No, you don't. Just get better." The alien shook its head. "You don't understand, my people. We don't forget kindness. Not when it comes from a human." Jack frowned. "Ah!" "Why does that matter?" The alien didn't answer. Instead, it said, "They will come." "Who?" "My fleet." Jack laughed. "You have a fleet?" The alien looked serious. "I am Admiral Curzon of the Silent Arm. We vanished centuries ago. Tao, because of you, we return." Jack blinked. He thought the heat was playing tricks on him. Wait. It's a silent arm? That's a myth. Old war stories. It's no myth," Curzon said. "We swore long ago if a human ever helped one of us again, we would repay the debt in full." Jack stood still. "I don't want anything. I didn't do this for payback." "But the oath is older than you," Curzon said. "They are already coming." The signal was sent. Jack looked at his radar. Static then. Pings. 1, 2, 4. 10. His screen filled with dots. Unidentified. Ships entering the edge of the system. No warnings, no codes. Silent. Watching. "What the hell?" Jack whispered. He ran outside. The sky was clear. For now, but the wind carried a strange sound, like humming, like a storm waiting to break. He turned back to Curzon. "What did you bring to my doorstep?" Curzon looked up, calm and steady. The answer to a good deed. Jack didn't sleep that night. He sat beside the radar screen, watching the dots grow. More ships appeared, big ones, silent. No messages, no warnings. Outside the desert was quiet. But Jack felt something in the air, like the whole planet was holding its breath. Inside, the alien rested. His wounds were healing fast, but his golden eyes stayed sharp. Always watching Jack in the morning. Jack made a strong cup of caf and handed it to the alien. "You sure you're not joking about the fleet?" Jack asked. Curzon sipped the caf and smiled just slightly. "Your kindness triggered a call that cannot be undone." "Why? Why would a whole fleet answer for one man helping a stranger?" Curzon looked out the window. "Long ago, during the old wars, one human saved my ancestor. When everyone else wanted to kill him, that human gave him water. Just like you did for me? So, Jack asked. So, we made a vow, Curzon said. Our kind has long memory. If the human helps one of us again, we come. Not just with thanks, with everything we are. Jack leaned against the wall. Great! I just wanted to give you water. I've got a fleet coming to thank me with lasers. Before Curzon could reply, the front door alarm beeped. Someone was outside. Jack walked to the door slowly, hand on his blaster. It was a local smuggler, a short, nervous creature with 3 eyes and a crooked smile. His name was Raoul Jack. You okay? Raoul asked quickly. Heard some chatter on the black channels? Ships coming, strange ones. Jack nodded. Yeah, it's true. Then Raoul saw Curzon lying inside. His 3 eyes went wide. He took a step back. That's one of them, Raoul hissed. That's a Valkyrie Highblood. A what? Jack asked. A warlord? A legend. That species disappeared after the last Silence War. You know what the galaxy said about them? Jack frowned. No, Raoul's voice dropped. They were ghosts with guns. Shadows that swallowed armies. They didn't fight battles, they ended them. That's a real one. And if his fleet's coming... He didn't finish his sentence. Raoul turned and ran. Jack stared. After him, back inside, he faced Curzon again. Who are you really? He asked. Curzon sat up slowly. My full name is Curzon Velthel of the High Blood Line, Admiral of the 9th Silent Arm, Commander of the Last Storm. Jack's mouth went dry. That name, Velthel. It was whispered in old war stories. Children were told never to speak it too loud. The galaxy thought they were dead or hiding. I thought your kind was gone, Jack said. We were, Curzon replied, until you brought us back. Suddenly the room shook. Jack grabbed the wall. What was that? Curzon stood, strength returning fast. They have arrived. Jack rushed to the radar. The sky was now full. Hundreds of ships. Big, dark, floating like silent giants above the desert. Still no messages. Still no warnings. Just silence. Curzon placed a hand on Jack's shoulder. They are waiting. For your command. Jack turned slowly. What command? I didn't ask for this. You didn't need to, Curzon said. Your actions spoke louder than words. Shh. Then, a loud voice filled the air. Not from the radio, not from a speaker. It echoed in Jack's mind. Who has touched the life of the High Blood? Show us the one who gave water in the dust. Jack stumbled. What is that? Curzon smiled. They are not just ships. They are old, ancient. Some speak through thought. And now they ask for you. Jack looked out the window. The sky was dark with warships, and he was now the center of it all. The sky above Velar 7 was no longer blue. It was full of ships, silent, floating, massive, like shadows blocking the sun. Some looked like giant metal birds. Others looked like they were made of stone or fire or something older than time. Jack stared at them through his outpost window. No movement, no signals, no demands, just presence. Powerful, quiet. Watching KO, our single quote Zan stood beside him, fully healed now. He wore armor, black and silver, marked with glowing red symbols. They are waiting, Curzon said calmly. Jack turned to him. For what? Curzon looked out the window. For you to speak. Jack laughed, but it wasn't a happy laugh. I'm just a trader. I fix broken things, don't command armies. But you showed mercy, Curzon said. That means everything to them. Outside, the desert wind blew harder. A storm was coming, but Jack knew the real storm wasn't sand. It was sitting in orbit, waiting. Suddenly his comms panel lit up. Dozens of incoming messages, not from the fleet, but from everywhere else. Jack clicked the first one. A blue-scaled alien, wearing military armor, appeared on screen. This is Captain Zur of the Valkyrie Defense League. We request immediate communication with the human known as Jack Monroe. Another. Screen blinked on. A three-eyed ambassador from the Eastern Ring Union spoke. "We know you are sheltering the High Blood. It's that fleet above you. If it's real, it changes everything. We demand answers." Jack shut the screens off. More came in. Dozens, then. Governments, empires, pirates, traitors, all wanted to know the same thing. Who is Jack Monroe? And why is the galaxy's most feared fleet answering him? Jack looked at Curzon. "This is getting out of hand?" Curzon nodded. "It's just beginning." Jack ran a scan on the fleet above. What he saw chilled him. Each ship had power levels far beyond anything modern. Weapons unknown, shields thicker than anything the galactic navies had. Some of the biggest ships were larger than cities, and they didn't even seem alive. They're waiting. But even stranger, no radio signals were coming from them, no chatter, no orders, nothing. They're completely silent. Jack whispered. Curzon smiled. "That's why we were called the Silent Arm. We never spoke, just acted." Outside, the windstorm began. Dust swirled through the air. Sky went orange. Jack stepped outside anyway. As he looked up, one of the largest ships moved. It rotated. Slowly, a deep hum vibrated through the ground. Then a voice entered his mind again. "Does the human wish to speak?" Jack stepped back, shocked. I guess then speak." "We hear you." Jack looked at Curzon. "What do I even say?" Curzon gave him a nod. "Say what you feel. It's all they understand." Jack took a deep breath. "Thank you for coming," he said out loud. "But I didn't ask for this. I just helped someone who needed it, that's all." There was silence for a long moment. Then the voice returned. "One act of mercy is enough. You will not face the galaxy alone. Now, you are one of ours." Suddenly, the largest ship sent out a signal, a burst of blue light that covered the planet. It wasn't a weapon. It felt warm. Jack's radar showed something new. Every known communications satellite, every listening post, every spy drone, all received the same message. The human has been claimed by the Silent Arm. Any harm to him will be considered an attack on us all. That message spread across the galaxy in seconds. In government halls, leaders panicked. In dark corners of space, criminals froze. On far-off planets, people whispered a name, Jack Monroe. And from that moment forward, no one dared ignore the man who gave water to a dying alien in the dust. Jack Monroe sat inside his small outpost, hands shaking. Just hours ago, he was a nobody, a human trader fixing scrap on a dusty planet no one cared about. Now, the most powerful fleet in the galaxy had claimed him, and the whole galaxy was watching. Curzon stood beside him, calm as ever. He wore a new set of armor now, ancient, elegant, heavy with history. His glowing eyes watched the radar screen, where the Silent Arms ships floated like giants in the sky. "They're scaring the whole galaxy," Jack said. Curzon nodded. "Good. That means they remember what we are." Jack looked away. "I never wanted this." "I know," Curzon said. "That's why it works." Outside, the sandstorm had passed, but the sky remained dark. The fleet above Villar 7 had not moved, but they didn't need to. Their silence said everything. Jack poured himself a cup of strong black calf. His hand trembled as he lifted it. "I just gave you water," he said. "One good deed, that's all." Curzon turned to him. "And that one good deed woke up a promise older than most stars." Jack looked confused. "Why? Why go this far?" "I didn't ask for anything." Curzon walked to the center of the room, touched a small hologram panel on his wrist. Soft light filled the room, showing images from a long time ago, burning cities, dead worlds, human soldiers standing side by side with alien warriors. Curzon spoke slowly. "Centuries ago, during the fall of the Black Suns, a human squad was sent to die. Their mission was suicide, but they didn't run. They fought beside us. When our own kind fled, the humans stood." The image changed, a human soldier carrying a wounded alien on his back, fire all around. One of your kind carried my grandfather off a battlefield, even after being shot. Curzon's voice lowered. He died saving my family. We never forgot. Jack watched silently. Curzon continued, so we made a vow. If ever again a human saved one of us, with no reward, we would return, not just to thank them, but to serve them. Jack looked at him. That's insane. No, Curzon said. That is honor. Suddenly the radar beeped. Jack turned to the screen. Another fleet was entering the system. This one was not friendly. Curzon's eyes narrowed. The others are coming. Jack clicked the ID scans. The ships belonged to the Yentari Syndicate, one of the largest pirate networks in this part of space. Their leader, Tazek Vorn, was known for hunting humans and selling them. A message came through. A rough voice filled the room. To the one called Jack Monroe, you are now a target. Turn over the alien, or we will take him by force. Jack stared at the screen. They don't know what's above them, do they? Curzon smiled darkly. Let them try. Outside, the Yentari fleet began to move closer. Dozens of ships, armed, ready to fight, and then, the sky opened. One ship from the Silent Arm moved. Just one, it drifted down through the clouds like a god. The Yentari fired first. Bad mistake. The Silent Arm ship didn't dodge. It just absorbed the blast. Then it returned fire. One single beam of blue light in 1 second. All the Yentari ships vanished. No smoke, no explosions, just gone. Jack stared at the sky, mouth open. That wasn't a battle. Curzon nodded. That was a warning. Back inside, our messages flooded in. Some begged for peace, some offered Jack power, some wanted to trade. But one thing was clear. The galaxy now saw Jack Monroe not as a traitor, but as a living symbol of a forgotten alliance. You carry more than my people's debt, Curzon said. You now carry hope for many. Jack looked tired. Hope. I don't even carry clean socks. Curzon laughed for the first time. Then you're ready. Jack looked out at the stars again. He had no crown, no title, no army of his own. But the most feared fleet in the galaxy followed him now because of one good deed. News spread faster than light. Across every system, station, and shadowy corner of the galaxy. One message echoed. The Silent Arm has returned, and they follow a human. Some laughed, some ran, but most panicked. The Yentari Syndicate was gone, wiped out in seconds by one ship. No wreckage, no survivors, no warning, and all of it was for Jack Monroe, the man who gave water to a dying alien. Now, the man had become the most protected life form in the stars. But protection brings enemies too. Not everyone wanted peace. Not everyone believed in kindness. Far away in the hidden halls of the Jenner Dominion, leaders held a secret meeting. The Jenner had always hated humans. They feared their unpredictability, their history, their wars, and now a human had power that could shake the galaxy. We must act, hissed one of the Jenner generals. The fleet follows him like a god, said another. Then we must kill the god before he learns to use his power. Back on Velar 7, Jack Monroe was eating cold stew when the alarms screamed. Curzon rushed to the radar. A single ship had entered the atmosphere, small, fast. Cloaked in black dot, too small to be a threat, too fast to be normal. It's a stealth drop pod, Curzon said. Assassin class. Jack stood up fast. Assassin. Before Curzon could reply, the walls exploded. Smoke filled the room. Red light, sharp movement. A figure stepped through the fire, tall, armored, with glowing red blades in each hand. Jack reached for his blaster to slow. The assassin moved like lightning, striking toward Jack, but Curzon was faster. With a roar, he blocked the blade with his forearm. Sparks flew, blood spilled. Curzon pushed the assassin back with a brutal strike. But the killer was trained. This wasn't a random attack. This was an elite mission. Jack crawled toward the panic switch, a silent beacon that could call. The Silent Arm. The assassin kicked him across the room. Pain exploded in Jack's ribs. Curzon fought harder, trading blows with the killer, but he was still healing. The assassin was fresh, fast, and cruel. Jack coughed, blood in his mouth. He reached the switch, pressed it. Soft beep, then silence. The assassin raised his blade again, aiming for Jack's heart, but the ceiling shattered. A shadow fell across the room. A figure dropped from above, 10 feet tall, glowing with silver armor. It moved like thunder. One strike, the assassin flew across the room and hit the wall. Hard, another strike. Silence. Dead KOR single quotes. Zan fell to one knee. They came. Jack looked up at the figure, one of the silent arm warriors. No face. No name. Just presence. More landed outside. Dozens, then hundreds. The outpost was surrounded. One of the warriors helped Jack stand. Another lifted Curzon. Gently, Jack looked at the leader. How did you get here so fast? A voice entered his mind. You were harmed. That is enough. Jack breathed slowly. They tried to kill me, just for helping someone. Curzon, bleeding but smiling, said, because you are dangerous now. Not with weapons, with meaning. Jack looked at the body of the assassin. I don't want to be a symbol. Too late, Curzon said. Moments later, new messages hit the galaxy. The silent arm has defended their human. One assassin. Failed. Who will try next? Across the stars, empires paused. This wasn't just a story anymore. It was war waiting to happen. Jack Monroe sat on the hill just outside his outpost, watching the sky. It was filled with stars. And ships. Hundreds of them. Maybe thousands. The silent arm had fully arrived. Their massive fleet floated above Villar 7 like a silent shield. No ship dared come close without permission. The galaxy was quiet, nervous, and afraid. All because of one man. And one small act of kindness. Jack, he didn't want it. He never asked for it. But now the galaxy expected him to decide what came next. Curzon limped over and sat beside him. His wounds from the assassin's attack were healing, but slowly. His armor was stained with blood and dust. But his eyes remained sharp. The Council of Captains wants to speak with you, Curzon said. Jack didn't answer at first. He stared at the stars. They want to name me something, don't they? He finally said. Curzon nodded. They wish to name you. Stellar Commander. Jack let out a breath. Commander of what? Curzon turned his head. Of the fleet of our future. Of the cause your kindness just restarted. Jack stood up, frustrated. I'm a traitor. Fixer. I didn't plan for this. I didn't ask for ships, armies, titles. I just gave water to someone who needed it. Yes. Curzon said softly. And that is exactly why you must lead. Jack shook his head. I don't want power. Curzon smiled. That's why it belongs to you. Suddenly, a beam of light shot down from the sky. It wrapped around Jack, lifting him gently. He floated up into a ship. No pain, no fear. Moments later he stood. In a grand hall, the walls shimmered like starlight. Hundreds of alien captains stood in silence. Different species. Different shapes. All of them stared at him. One stepped forward. A tall creature made of crystal and light. Its voice spoke into his mind. You are the one who gave life when you had nothing. You are the one who answered need with mercy. For that, we offer you command. Jack looked around. Felt small. Felt lost. I'm not special. He said, I'm just a man who did the right thing. Another voice answered. That is the rarest kind of leader. They showed him holograms, worlds broken by war, refugees hiding, empires enslaving the weak, old enemies rising again. The galaxy is sick, the voices said. Your kindness was the first spark. Lead us. Help us cure what is broken. Jack's hands shook. He had the fleet. He had the trust. But he also had fear. What if he made the wrong choice? What if he caused more harm? But then he remembered something. The look in Curzon's eyes when he fell in the dust. The feeling of doing something. Right, no weapon, no war, just kindness. He took a deep breath. I'll lead, he said quietly. But not as a warlord, not as a king. I lead with mercy first. Fire only if I must. The captains bowed, and the stars shifted. Across the galaxy, a new signal was sent. The silent arm marches again, under human command, the dark corners. Empires trembled. In hidden chambers, warlords cursed, because they knew the galaxy had just changed, and it all started with a cup of water. The stars had never seen this before. A human stood at the center of the most feared fleet in history. Jack Monroe, once just a quiet trader on a dusty planet, now wore the title Stellar, commander of the Silent Arm. But he didn't wear armor. He didn't carry a crown. He still wore his old boots, dusty jacket, and a patched shirt. And yet when he spoke, the galaxy listened. Inside the command chamber of the largest, silent arm ship, the vow of silence. Jack stood before the captains. They waited for his first order. Some expected war, some expected punishment. But Jack had something else in mind. He pressed a button on the center console. A star map lit up, showing a long line of red dots, ruined planets, forgotten colonies, broken stations, places left behind, places suffering in silence. These worlds are dying, Jack said. No food, no water, no defense. He looked at the captains. We start there. Silence filled the room. Then one of the captains, a steel-skinned warrior named Cotter, stepped forward. You do not want revenge? Jack shook his head. No, I want to fix what's broken. One world at a time. Another captain spoke. You show mercy first, like before. Jack nodded. That's the way. The captains looked at one another. Then, they all bowed. The first order is given, Cotter said. We rebuild the forgotten. And so the silent arm moved. But not with fire and death. With food, with healing tech, with shields and protection, one by one, broken worlds saw ships arrive, not to take, but to give. Survivors on dry planets cried as clean water rained down from the sky. Sick children watched as healing drones landed. Near their tents, villages once hunted by pirates now had guard towers run by the silent arm, and on every planet, people whispered the same name, Jack Monroe. The human who saved one and then saved us all. But peace is never welcome everywhere, in the cold heart of the Karn Dominion. Leaders watched with rage. He's gaining followers, one commander said. He's uniting the weak, another hissed. The more worlds he saves, the stronger he becomes. They feared Jack, not for his weapons, but for his hope. And that made him dangerous. So they made a plan. Back on Villar 7, Jack returned home briefly. His outpost was now guarded by silent arm warriors. It had become a symbol, the place where everything started. He sat on the same dusty step, drinking a cup of CAF.KOR single quotes. Zan joined him. You've changed the stars. Chart shook his head. I'm just trying to make things a little better. You've done more than that. Jack looked up. I thought peace would feel easier. Curzon looked at the night sky. Peace is always harder than war. Just then, a call came. Through dot, urgent dot, a silent armed scout, breathless, shouted through the screen. Earth is under attack. Jack stood up fast. Curzon-'s face turned cold. The Karn Dominion, he said. Jack looked at the sky, heart racing. His home, his people, were now the target. The silent arm began to move again. It's time not for mercy, but for justice. The skies above Earth burned red. The Karn Dominion, one of the most feared empires in the galaxy, launched a full surprise attack. No warning, no reason, just hate. Hundreds of Karn warships hovered in orbit, firing on satellites, space stations, and defense platforms. Civilians screamed. Military tried to fight back, but they were outmatched. The Karn wanted to send a message. No human should ever lead. No human should be followed. But they made one mistake. They attacked Jack Monroe's home. On board the Vow of Silence, Jack stood in front of the fleet's command screen. Fists clenched. He saw Earth's cities burning. He saw the fear in the faces of people he had never met, people just like him, and he made a choice. "We end this," Jack said. "Now." Curzon stood beside him. "Then give the order." Jack took a deep breath, and he spoke one word. "Strike." The silent arm moved, faster than light. Thousands of ships blinked out of orbit. Jumping to Earth's system within seconds, they didn't announce themselves. They didn't send warnings. They arrived like a storm. The Karn fleet didn't see it. Coming one moment, they were bombing cities. The next, they were surrounded. Dark, massive ships blocked their retreat. Silent armed cruisers sliced through Karn ships like paper. Energy shields deflected every attack. Drones disabled weapons. Shockwaves rippled through the stars in just 10 minutes. Karn fleet lost half its strength. In 20, they begged for surrender. But Jack wasn't listening. He wasn't seeking revenge. He was protecting home. Jack opened a channel to Earth people. Watched from screens, rooftops, bunkers, and shelters, they saw a human face, calm, focused, standing beside alien captains. "This is Jack Monroe," he said. "Help has come. You are not alone." Cheers echoed from every corner of Earth. Children pointed to the sky and smiled. For the first time in decades, hope returned. The silent arm gave the final warning to the Karn. "You attacked the one who showed kindness. You brought war to his home. Leave now or be forgotten forever." The Karn left, crushed, shamed, silent, later. As the stars calmed and Earth began to rebuild, Jack stood alone on a small hill near an ocean quote. Zahn walked over, his armor shining. "In the soft light, you didn't just stop a war," Curzon said. "You changed the future." Jack nodded slowly. "I didn't plan this. I didn't want it. And yet, you were the one the galaxy needed." Jack looked up at the sky. He smiled. A small act giving water to a dying stranger had led to the protection of billions. A good deed had returned as a galactic shield, and now no one would ever forget the name, Jack Monroe, the human who gave hope, and was followed by a fleet.